The lateral, or sorry, the surface area for pyramids and cones is slightly different than crystals and cylinders, but not by much. Okay, it looks somewhat different. The main thing you should notice is that how many bases does the pyramid have?
One.
Just one. Okay, that's good. And you guys understand why we say that a pyramid and a cone, you see why we say they're related?
Yeah.
Okay, because they basically come with a single vertex. Okay, so their formulas are going to be the same, just like the prism and the cylinder. The formulas were basically the same. The only thing is, for a cone, we're going to adapt our formula because what shape is the base? Circle. So it's just basically the same formula, but we're going to adapt that formula because it's a circle. So we look at a pyramid. One of the things that we have to understand with the pyramid is there are these things that we need to take into consideration, and one's called the slant height. And we represent the slant height with the variable L, mostly because the S typically means side, so we call L as our slant height. Now what does it mean to be slanted?
You're at a diagonal.
You're at a diagonal. So when we talk about the slant height of a pyramid or of a cone, it is going from the vertex down the face to the bottom of the base, and that is your slant height.
So is it kind of like the map?
Similar, yes. Very, very similar to that. If you have a cone, it's basically that outside length right there. Now, one thing I do want to mention, the slant height in a pyramid is not the same length as the edge. Okay, so the slant height goes down the center of the face, and it's going to be perpendicular to the base. All right. Now, one of the things I want you to notice is if I draw, what type of triangle did I just create?
Right.
A right triangle. So a lot of times, if I know my side length, this value right here is half the length of my side. And this, like right here, that is the actual height of the pyramid. So a lot of times if you know your side length and you know the height of the pyramid, you can figure out the slant height using Pythagorean theorem. That's one thing you might have to do tonight. All right, so just recognize that we can use Pythagorean theorem to find the slant height. All right, so the formula for this is fairly simple. 1/2 PL. So the lateral area of a pyramid is 1/2 PL. What does the P represent? Perimeter of the base. 1/2 PL. Now, if I'm going to want to do total surface area, what do I need to include in that?
Your base.
The base. So the surface area is 1/2 PL plus 1B. I only have one base. Now, we said a cone is basically a pyramid that has a circle as a base, right? So it's still going to be 1/2 L. Well, what do we call the perimeter of the circle? Sam?
Circumference.
And how do we find circumference?
2 pi r.
So if I take 1/2 of 2 pi r
Pi r.
and multiply by L, what does that simplify out to? Pi RL. So the lateral area of a cone is pi RL. I used to make a joke, I know you guys won't get it anymore. I probably think about pi RL, make me remember this little joke I used to say, you guys don't get it, so I'm like, wow, waste your time.
No, try it.
No, you guys don't get it. You
Just
guys don't watch
try it.
TRL, you don't even know what TRL is. What?
Is it a TV show?
Yeah.
If you watch it, I'm guessing so.
Now, guys, if we are a cone, what shape is my base?
A circle.
So what is the surface area then for a cone? Pi RL plus?
C.
Well, what's the B?
C.
No. How do you find the area of a circle?
Oh, pi r squared.
Pi r squared. Pi RL plus pi r squared. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's get right into some examples. All right, we're looking at number 1. What are you asked to find? Lateral area. There you go. Okay, so we're asked to find the lateral area. How do we find lateral area? 1/2 PL. Alright, so lateral area, 1/2 PL. Okay, so we got 1/2. So what's my perimeter in this problem? How many sides are there?
I
There's
guess
6. Alright, so I got 6 sides, each side is 4, therefore a perimeter of 24, just add them all up. What is my slant height?
18.
And then just multiply that through. Alright, let's take a look at number 2. What shape do we have on number 2? Cone. Hey, how do you find the lateral area for a cone?
1/2 2 pi r.
Or just simply
pi r.
pi RL. Okay, let's get going. What's my radius?
15.
Okay, what's my slant height?
I got
Ooh.
you.
This is a problem, isn't it?
Not really.
Okay, so do we have our slant height?
No.
Nope, that's right here. Well, what do we have? We have a right triangle, so what can I use? Alright, so a squared plus b
It's
squared
25.
equals c squared. So that gives us 225 plus 400 is L squared. Oh, not 4 genius, it's 625. So 625 is L squared. L is the square root of 625, which is 25. Now, I'm going to take a moment. Well, we'll come back to that. All right, now all I do is multiply 15 by 25. That's 375 pi, and my units are centimeters squared. Now, at this point in time, I think it would be worth our while to discuss a faster way of getting that 25. This doesn't always work. Pythagorean theorem will always work. That's guaranteed to get you the 25. But remember we talked about Pythagorean triples? 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13? Okay, you guys remember we talked about those?
Okay.
If you look at the 15 and the 20, what number do they have in common? 5. This is 5 times 3. This is 5 times. So my hypotenuse is going to be 5 times, which is 25. It's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So if you guys know you're saying in triples and you train yourself to identify them, you can save yourself a whole lot of time and go right to the 25. All right, any questions on 1 or 2, finding lateral area? All right, now what are we doing? Okay, now we find total surface area. Ladies, if you don't mind. Thank you. All right, so number 3, what shape is that? Pyramid. How do we find the surface area of a pyramid?
1/2 PL.
Plus B. All right, what is the perimeter of my base?
24. 40.
48. 4 times 12 is 48. What's my sine height?
15.
Now, how do I find the area of my base?
12 times 12.
12 times 12, which is? 44. Alright, so all we do is figure out what half of 48 times 15 is. How much? 360? We got 360 plus 144 is 504 feet squared. Yes, Chris.
The 20 is the height of the triangle, so here or there.
That is the height, but not the slant
I
height.
know, but I'm not incorrect, but it's on this plate.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I already mentioned
So
to you.
that's correct.
Yes. Probably because when I draw stuff, I don't bother.
Why did we need to know the height?
You don't.
That was just there.
That's just there.
Confused.
And as Chris
Yeah.
pointed, and as Chris pointed out, the height is clearly incorrect.
Yeah.
Because if 15 is the hypotenuse of the right triangle on the inside, then the height must be shorter than the sine height.
Hold on.
Good eye on that, Chris.
Alright guys, number 4. I want you guys to do number 4.
Is that a circle?
What was my slant height in this problem? 13. Again, guys, that's a Pythagorean triple. 5, 12, 13. You have to use the Pythagorean theorem. You knew that. So surface area. Pi RL, pi r squared. 5 times 12 times the sine height of 13 plus pi times 12 squared. That's 156 pi, 144 pi. And that gives us 300 pi.
Wait, is that, what is that number?
156. Alright,